Hello and welcome back to my channel and another video. So I hope you've all had a fantastic start to 2025. Unfortunately, I have not had the best start. But I'm hoping that that's going to change now. I don't know if you can still hear it in my voice, but I have had quite a nasty illness. I was diagnosed with a chest infection by the doctor and given antibiotics, and I became ill in between Christmas and New Year, and I did feel quite unwell for quite a long time actually, and I did actually lose my voice for 5 days, which was quite difficult, even though I live on my own and I'm not talking to somebody all the time, obviously. I didn't realise how much I actually talk. So that was quite a challenge. And actually, during this time that I was incapacitated, I began to think quite a lot about being ill and living on your own, so being alone, and that you actually have a long time to think about lots of things, which can lead to overthinking. Fortunately, I didn't go to any deep, dark places. And I'm quite impressed with myself actually at how positive I did manage to remain during this time. But it also got me thinking that there are lots of challenges that being alone and being ill can actually have. So in this video, I wanted to talk about all of that really. So the areas that I identified are physical challenges, mental health and emotional challenges, practical challenges and social challenges. So if we look at physical challenges first, depending on how ill you are and also how long you're ill for, can make certain aspects that you do ordinarily in your life more difficult. So things like cooking, cleaning, and personal hygiene may become difficult. You may also find it difficult to access medical care. So like me, I lost my voice for 5 days and I needed to go to the doctors. So that can be difficult to have the confidence to phone the doctors if you're just whispering on the phone and they can't hear you. So that can be difficult. And also things like collecting medication, even getting to the doctor's appointment in the first place, or if you need emergency care, are you able to call an ambulance? Do you need somebody else to do that for you? Or are you able to get to A&E by yourself? Also managing medications. So if you are either on medication all the time, or if you were given medication for the illness, then it can be difficult to remember to take the medication. I know when I was ill, I said I had I don't know if I did say, but I had antibiotics for the chest infection and I had to take them 3 times a day. And I did find it quite difficult. I had to set an alarm on my phone in the end so that I remembered to take the tablet 3 times a day. So that can be difficult. And also monitoring any side effects that you got, because at first, when I was first ill, before I had the antibiotics, I was taking paracetamol and ibuprofen together. Well, not together, but I'd take the ibuprofen and then 4 hours later I'd take the paracetamol, because I'd been told that that was quite a way to manage pain. And I found that after a couple of days of taking tablets like that, I actually came out in a rash. So then I felt, I didn't feel better, but I felt that I had to stop taking the tablets, and I didn't know if it was the paracetamol or the ibuprofen that was causing the rash. It might not have even been that, but I think being aware of what's going on in your body and what you might be having an allergic reaction to really helps, but you might not realise that if you're that ill. Another aspect is also nutritional concerns. So if you are ill, and I was quite ill in the beginning and unable to make myself, a meal from scratch like I normally would. So it was very difficult for me to find something nutritious to eat other than, I don't know, bread, like sticking some bread in the toaster, or eating some yogurt, which I had in the fridge. And obviously this isn't attending to your nutritional needs. And obviously this is really important when you are ill, because you need to pay close attention to your nutrition to help you to get better. And then there's also fatigue. And obviously when you're ill, fatigue plays a massive part. And especially with me, I just felt so tired that I wasn't able to do anything. I mean, I haven't got television in my bedroom because I've never really wanted that. So, you know, I could either lie in bed, but I found it very difficult to lie down anyway because of my chest. My chest was so irritated that I was actually getting up and just lying on the settee and propping myself up so that I could, you know, manage that without coughing too much. But, you know, being able to walk around or even get myself a drink was not the easiest thing to do. And it was quite difficult. So, you know, making meals for myself just wasn't really on my agenda because I couldn't manage it, to be perfectly honest. If you do like this video, please do remember to give it a like, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you haven't already, please do remember to subscribe to my channel. And remember that subscribing is absolutely free, so you might as well. So we'll move on now to emotional and mental health challenges. So if you are lacking companionship and you are alone, you may feel completely isolated, which can then lead to feelings of depression and anxiety. I know I felt quite alone when I was ill, and, you know, without anybody there saying to you, or don't worry, or, you know, sometimes you feel so ill that you don't think you're going to get better. Well, that's how I feel anyway. And that can be quite a worry as well. And, you know, you can, without anybody there saying to you, you know, you are going to get better, it can be quite a challenge. There's also fear and anxiety that can be there too. And these can be to do with what to do in an emergency. I mean, I kept thinking, oh, you know, what if I get worse and worse and worse and I can't breathe? Because honestly, sometimes I was coughing that much that I didn't know when I was going to stop coughing, basically. And I mean, this isn't very nice, but I was coughing that much that I was actually physically sick quite a few times. And I used to, like, a little thought would run through my head saying, oh, what if you can't stop coughing? What are you going to do then? Or what if you can't breathe? Or what if your lungs are full of, you know, fluid and you can't breathe? What are you going to do then? And all these little things, it's like this little voice in your head, isn't it? Saying, oh, what if this or what if that? And that's not really very nice to have and can create constant worry and stress. So a lack of emotional support can be difficult, and when there's no encouragement from your loved ones, then that can be completely demoralising. There can also be motivational struggles as well, and with the absence of accountability, social accountability, that can make it more difficult to get into a routine for recovery and self-care. Without the encouragement of others, it's very difficult. So we'll go on to look at practical challenges now. So with household maintenance, then it can be very difficult and also overwhelming when you are unable to do essential cleaning, washing, cooking, the usual things that you do around the house that you just do every day and that you take for granted that you can do it. But when you're ill, obviously, it's very difficult to do these things. You know, in some cases, you might only be able to manage to walk from the bedroom to the lounge without thinking about putting a load of washing in or washing up or cleaning the kitchen or something like that. So that can become very overwhelming. Also, if the illness goes on for a while, I mean, mine did. It went on for a few weeks, and you know, I don't know how many days people get paid for when they're sick, but at the company I work for, we get 10 days of CSP. We call it company sick pay, So that's a concern as well. You know, if you're off work for that long and you've used all of your company sick pay days and you're only getting SSP, which isn't a lot of money, let's face it, to live on, that's also a worry. That's a financial strain. It's a little fly. That's also a financial strain, which can become a worry and also cause anxiety, because you may have trouble covering your living expenses or medical expenses. There may also be technology barriers. So people who are unfamiliar with technology may not be able to operate a computer or a website or whatever it is that you need to operate for assistance. I know a lot of GP surgeries now, you actually have to use their online services. I mean, mine, I don't. That's why I found it difficult to phone my GP, because I hadn't got my voice. And it would have been easier for me to have gone online to book an appointment. But, you know, a lot of people aren't familiar with technology. So again, this could delay them getting the help that they need. Emergency preparedness is also something else that we need to think about when we live alone, because if we have a fall, even if we, you know, it might not be that we're ill, if we have a fall, then we have to be prepared and think about how we would contact the emergency services to get help. And, you know, when I was ill, and also when I was ill, if I had have got worse, you know, I had to think about what I would do. So I always had my phone with me, right next to me, in my pocket, carrying it around with me so that I could phone 999 if I needed that emergency help. So now we'll look at social challenges. And the first one is, if there is a lack of social engagement, then this can lead to people becoming more withdrawn from society or even from their friends and family. There may also be difficulty with asking for help. I find this difficult, to be honest, because I don't really know why, but I just find it difficult to ask for help. But I know, you know, there's a lot of people out there like me who are reticent about asking for help. But obviously, we need to when we need help. Obviously, if people are hesitant or embarrassed to ask for help, then this can lead to further isolation and feelings of loneliness. Then there's a dependence on remote communication. So if you're not getting regular visitors, because you probably don't want to pass it on to any visitors that do come to drop something off for you, or they might not want to catch it, but then this can lead to, if you're not speaking to anybody on a regular basis and you're relying solely on that digital texting or emailing, then this can lead to further feelings of loneliness and isolation, and obviously not providing the emotional support that's needed. So now we'll look at coping strategies. So to help to overcome these challenges, then people can arrange for regular checkups from friends and family, or even community services if they don't have any friends or family to rely on. Luckily, I am blessed with some very lovely family and friends who checked on me every single day to make sure that I was okay. And they offered to go to the supermarket for me, to get me some food, and there was 3 friends that did that for me. I had flowers delivered, I had cards delivered. My one friend who lives around the corner, when I couldn't speak for 5 days and I couldn't make an appointment at the GP, she rang the GP for me. She got me an appointment. She came and picked me up. She took me to the GP. She came in with me, not into the office, but she came with me, and that was really nice because I really felt like I was supported. And then she dropped me off at home, and then she went to fetch my medication for me. And then she came back with magazines and lots of things. She was just absolutely wonderful. So I am so grateful for all my friends and my family for helping me, because my family does live a long way, from over 100 miles away. But, you know, they were in touch regularly, which was absolutely lovely, and I am so grateful for that. So for food supplies, then you can use online services. So if you're running low of any food, which is what I did. And my friends did bring me food. They dropped off food for me for the first couple of weeks. But then I thought, you know, when I was getting a little bit better, I thought, well, actually, I can go online and I can order myself a supermarket shop, which I did. I also ordered quite a few things from Amazon, which was really easy. And obviously home delivery service for medication and any supplies. You could also explore virtual or local community groups for that social connection. If the illness goes on for a long time, then it may be worth thinking about getting some help for the cleaning, chores around the house that you're not able to do, or any maintenance. So one thing that I made sure of was that I had my emergency numbers on me or close to me at all times. So my numbers, the numbers for my friends, and also obviously I noted on 999, my doctor's numbers on my phone, and also the people that keep in contact with me every day. I made sure that I did have that close to me, and also a plan in case of an emergency. I was sort of had a loose plan in my head about what I would do. So being proactive and seeking available resources while you're ill can really help to alleviate some of the burdens that are associated with being ill when living alone. So I hope you found this video useful. I use a lot of my own experience in it, but I just thought that it might help people out there to know you are not alone. And there are lots of things that you can do to help yourself. The next video that I want to do are all the things that I thought about while I was ill. And I do have a plan for 2025, which I think is so exciting, and I'm so excited to be planning that, and I will share that with you as it unfolds. So thanks so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't already. It's absolutely free, and please like and share the video, and I will see you soon.